Gentlemen over 60, let's set the record straight. Struggling with weak erections isn't simply an unavoidable part of getting older. In fact, what I've observed time and again in my over 20 years of clinical experience is that the real culprit often lies in what you eat. Specifically, what's on your plate within the first 10 minutes of waking up. Every day, I see well-meaning seniors unintentionally sabotaging their circulation with a single mistake at breakfast. It's a pattern I call the silent meal trap, and unfortunately, it affects nearly every man I work with. What most people don't realize is how dramatically your morning meal influences blood flow, especially to the areas that matter most for male health and vitality. Each bite either supports healthy circulation or gradually restricts it. Over time, those daily choices can make or break your performance. The good news? You can start reversing the damage starting tomorrow morning. And here's the surprising part. There's one simple food, often already in your kitchen, that could help turn things around faster than you'd expect. It's natural, effective, and overlooked by most men. Best of all, it's just one of 4 specific foods I recommend to restore optimal blood flow and reinforce muscle tone where it counts. These are not supplements, not prescriptions, and definitely not miracle pills. They're ordinary, affordable foods backed by science, and when used correctly, they can help your body do what it was designed to do, function at its best, even in your later years. In just a moment, I'll reveal the food that delivers the quickest results. Many of my patients notice improvements in less than a week. So if you're ready to take control of your health naturally, hit subscribe and tap the bell icon. And if you relate to this, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, say 0. I read every response. Let's begin. You might find it hard to believe, but adding just 2 tablespoons of black beans to your morning meal can do more for your circulation than you might expect, especially in the areas where blood flow becomes increasingly vital with age. This small but concentrated serving is loaded with L-arginine, magnesium, and anthocyanins, a nutritional trio that plays a critical role in helping blood vessels expand and relax, especially in the pelvic region and lower extremities. These nutrients support the production of nitric oxide, a compound your body needs in order to maintain proper blood circulation and vascular health. Now, if you've been noticing cold feet, nighttime leg cramps, or those discouraging moments when your body doesn't respond the way it used to, the root of the problem could be traced not to age alone, but to a lack of the right nutrients at breakfast. Many men past the age of 60 either skip breakfast entirely or opt for something minimal, like a plain piece of toast or a quick coffee on the go. While that might feel convenient, such choices do very little to support your body's natural ability to produce nitric oxide. By your 62nd and beyond, nitric oxide production drops significantly, almost by half compared to your younger years. That reduction directly affects circulation, particularly in sensitive areas such as the groin, leading to diminished performance, reduced energy, and weaker muscle response. But here's where black beans make a difference. They're not just a source of plant-based protein, they're one of the richest food sources of L-arginine, the amino acid that triggers nitric oxide production through an enzyme called endothelial nitric oxide synthase. When activated, this enzyme signals the blood vessels to dilate, improving oxygen delivery throughout your body, including to your legs, pelvic region, and even your heart. The result? Better circulation, improved endurance, and more consistent function during both physical activity and rest. In addition, black beans are packed with anthocyanins, a class of antioxidants that help reduce inflammation and promote healthy endothelial function. Inflammation is one of the key drivers of poor circulation and plaque buildup in the arteries. By calming this internal inflammation, anthocyanins help nitric oxide reach the tissues that need it most. But that's not all. Black beans are also loaded with soluble fiber, which helps remove excess low-density lipoprotein cholesterol, the type that can harden arteries and restrict blood flow. With cleaner, more flexible vessels, your circulation improves naturally, without medication. Some people worry about beans causing gas, but this can be avoided. Soaking black beans overnight and rinsing them well before cooking helps reduce oligosaccharides, the naturally occurring sugars that lead to bloating. Cooking them thoroughly, especially in a pressure cooker, makes them easier to digest. And despite the myths, black beans are not just carbs. They are nutritionally dense, containing more essential amino acids than many popular protein bars. Plus, important minerals like iron, potassium, and folate. Dr. D. Fonca Hernandez, a vascular health expert, recently published research showing that 2 tablespoons of black beans daily raised nitric oxide levels in older men to amounts similar to those seen with low-dose prescription vasodilators. That means this humble food can offer many of the same benefits as costly medications without the side effects or dependency risks. Even more exciting are the real-world results. Several of my patients have experienced noticeable improvements within a few weeks of adding black beans to their diet. One 69-year-old retired teacher told me he started mixing a small scoop of black beans into his oatmeal 3 mornings a week. After just 1 month, he was able to walk a full golf course again without that familiar, heavy, dragging feeling in his legs. But what really amazed him? He said that mornings started to feel normal again. No pills, no pressure, just consistent progress and improved confidence. Let's not overlook the protective antioxidants in black beans, such as ferulic acid and caffeic acid. These compounds protect blood vessel walls from oxidative stress, which is a leading factor in age-related decline in vascular health. Not only do they help preserve nitric oxide levels once they're produced, but they also extend its benefits, keeping your blood vessels more responsive, more elastic, and more efficient over time. Now, a few practical notes. If you're new to fiber-rich foods like black beans, start small, about 1/4 cup, and gradually increase your intake. Rinse them thoroughly before cooking to minimize digestive discomfort. If you suffer from gout, be cautious. Like many legumes, black beans contain purines, which can worsen symptoms in those with purine sensitivity. And if you're on blood thinners, keep track of your vitamin K intake. Although black beans contain only an 8 amount, it's always wise to stay consistent with your routine. The real message here is simple. This kind of strength doesn't come from a bottle. It comes from real, natural food your body recognizes, responds to, and benefits from. Something as unassuming as a spoonful of black beans can reignite blood flow, restore confidence, and help you reclaim the active, energized version of yourself that you thought was gone. Now let's move on to the next food that supports circulation and vitality just as naturally. A rich, creamy, and nutrient-packed breakfast can do more than just satisfy your morning hunger. It can actively support your blood vessels and help your hormones, including testosterone, function more efficiently. One of the most effective morning meals for improving circulation, particularly for men over 60, is a warm bowl of steel-cut oats topped with toasted almond flakes and chia seeds that have been soaked overnight. This isn't simply comfort food. It's smart nutrition, purpose-built to nourish your arteries. I like to call this the second member of the circulation-supporting breakfast quartet. Why? Because it delivers 3 crucial benefits first thing in the morning: sustained energy, muscle preservation, and vascular repair. Many men I talk to skip breakfast entirely and head straight for black coffee. It seems efficient on the surface, but the body interprets this differently. Cortisol levels spike, muscles become tight, blood vessels constrict, and by mid-morning, fatigue hits. The second or even third cup of coffee doesn't solve the underlying problem. It just masks the effects of poor nutrient timing and unstable blood sugar. Others grab a sugary pastry or bowl of processed cereal. This leads to a rapid spike in blood sugar, followed by a crash, which can leave you feeling drained by lunchtime. What your body truly needs is a stable, slow-burning source of fuel, something this oatmeal, almond, and chia combination offers in abundance. Let's break down why this combo works so well. Steel-cut oats are an excellent source of complex carbohydrates that provide slow, steady energy throughout the morning. They contain beta-glucan, a type of soluble fiber that helps reduce low-density lipoprotein cholesterol by as much as 7 to 10% over a few weeks when eaten regularly. This makes them a powerful ally in cardiovascular health. Lower low-density lipoprotein cholesterol levels mean arteries become more open and elastic, improving blood flow, especially to areas that depend heavily on strong circulation. Oats also contain unique antioxidants called avenanthramides. These rare compounds promote the release of nitric oxide, which relaxes blood vessels and improves circulation. Additionally, avenanthramides help suppress nuclear factor kappa B, a key inflammatory pathway that contributes to vascular damage. When that pathway is quieted, blood vessels remain flexible and more responsive to daily demands. In one clinical study, men who added oats to their daily breakfast saw a measurable 1% increase in flow-mediated dilation, a reliable marker of vascular function. While 1% may sound small, in cardiovascular science, it represents a meaningful improvement in how arteries behave under stress. Now let's talk about the chia seeds. These tiny black seeds might not look like much, but they pack a serious nutritional punch. When soaked overnight in water or almond milk, they form a gel-like consistency that hydrates your digestive system and slows the absorption of carbohydrates, creating a more stable, sustained energy release. Chia seeds are rich in alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid that has been shown in studies to reduce arterial stiffness and lower blood pressure, especially in individuals with metabolic syndrome or insulin resistance. These effects aren't minor, they're real and measurable. Additionally, the gel formed by soaked chia seeds promotes mild diuresis, natural fluid release, reducing blood volume and making it easier for the heart to pump efficiently. This combination doesn't just help with digestion and blood sugar. It actively supports healthy circulation, especially in the limbs and pelvic region, which is crucial for maintaining confidence and performance in older adults. Here's a real-world example. One of my patients, a 64-year-old worker dealing with early-stage non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, switched from sugary boxed cereals to this simple oatmeal almond chia breakfast. After 8 weeks, his lab results were striking. His endothelial progenitor cells, the repair crew of the blood vessels, had doubled. His insulin resistance dropped by 12%. But what mattered most to him? As he said, "My confidence in the bedroom returned before the lab results even came in." Now for a few practical preparation tips. Always soak chia seeds overnight in water or unsweetened almond milk. When dry, chia seeds expand rapidly and may cause digestive discomfort or even a choking hazard if not properly hydrated. Choose certified gluten-free oats if you have celiac disease or gluten sensitivity. While oats are naturally gluten-free, they're often cross-contaminated during processing. Also, a protein called avenin found in oats can occasionally trigger reactions in sensitive individuals. Toasted almond flakes add healthy monounsaturated fats and are rich in magnesium, essential for nerve and muscle function, including in blood vessels. But they are calorie-dense. Limit your portion to about 2 tablespoons if you're monitoring your weight. Together, these ingredients act as a form of vascular rehabilitation through food. The beta-glucan in oats sweeps low-density lipoprotein cholesterol from your bloodstream. The avenanthramides in oats and polyphenols in almonds help repair the inner lining of blood vessels. And the hydrating anti-inflammatory gel formed by chia seeds ensures blood flows smoothly, especially to the areas where circulation matters most. This is not just breakfast. It's a metabolic software upgrade for your entire vascular system. And best of all, it only takes 5 minutes to prepare. Before we dive into the third circulation-boosting breakfast, I'd love to know, What's your go-to topping for oatmeal? Do you add berries for antioxidants? Cinnamon for blood sugar control? Flax seeds for even more fiber and omega-3 second? Let me know in the comments. I read each one, and your ideas could help someone else transform their mornings and their health. Let's move on to green tea, a drink that might seem modest, but can deliver impressive changes, especially for older adults. One of my patients, a 70-year-old named Martin, came to my office feeling defeated. He was articulate, clever, still doing puzzles in ink, but privately he was struggling with something deeply personal. His energy was fading, and his performance, particularly in intimate moments, had dropped significantly. He wasn't interested in medications or quick fixes. He just wanted to reclaim his vitality. So instead of reaching for a prescription pad, we looked at his lifestyle. His daily routine included drinking soda each afternoon to stay alert. I asked him to replace it with one simple thing, a cup of hot sencha green tea. That's it. No complicated regimen, no pills, just one swap. 3 weeks later, Martin walked back in with a smile. "Doctor," he joked, "this tea kettle's doing more for me than any pharmacy ever did." Now, many assume green tea is just warm flavored water with a caffeine kick, but that's a mistake. Quality green tea, especially varieties like sencha, contains a unique plant compound called epigallocatechin gallate. This compound activates a vital biochemical cascade in your blood vessels that increases the availability of nitric oxide, the key molecule your body uses to dilate blood vessels and enhance circulation, particularly in the lower regions of the body. Epigallocatechin gallate stimulates the phosphoinositide 3-kinase signaling pathway, which triggers your endothelial cells to start producing nitric oxide naturally again. This means better blood flow, less resistance in the arteries, and more reliable performance, all from within. One study demonstrated that a single serving of green tea could increase flow-mediated dilation by nearly 30% within 2 hours, far more than what's seen with black tea or energy drinks. Green tea also preserves more catechins, which protect nitric oxide from oxidative breakdown, making its effect longer-lasting and more effective. In clinical studies involving patients with coronary artery disease, men with serious vascular problems, a daily dose of 300 grams of epigallocatechin gallate improved blood flow to the pelvic region. Martin continued drinking his daily cup. After 6 consistent weeks, his vascular ultrasound showed an 18% improvement in cavernosal peak systolic velocity, a clinical marker for how efficiently blood is delivered to the penile arteries. Even a 10% improvement is significant for performance and confidence. Martin experienced nearly double that. And this was achieved with no medications, no side effects, just consistency and the right choice of drink. If you're considering making green tea a part of your daily wellness routine, there are some tips worth following to ensure you're getting the most from it. First, avoid boiling water. Boiling water can destroy the beneficial catechins in the tea. Use water heated to around 80 degrees Celsius and steep 2 grams of loose-leaf sencha for no more than 3 minutes. Any longer or hotter, and you risk damaging the very compounds that deliver the benefits. Drinking a cup in the morning is ideal. It helps prime your nitric oxide levels for the day ahead. If intimacy is planned later, having a second cup roughly 1 hour beforehand can create a short-term boost in vasodilation, allowing blood vessels to relax more effectively right when needed. To amplify absorption, squeeze a little lemon into your tea. The vitamin C helps your body absorb up to 3 times more epigallocatechin gallate in the gut, leading to more nitric oxide, stronger circulation, and greater effectiveness without adding sugar or calories. Now, while green tea is immensely beneficial, moderation is still key. Consuming more than 5 cups a day isn't recommended. High doses of epigallocatechin gallate, particularly from supplements or highly concentrated forms, can strain the liver, especially in those taking statins or cholesterol medications. Also, if you're taking medications like sildenafil, Space them out from your tea by at least 2 hours. Epigallocatechin gallate can affect liver enzymes that metabolize certain drugs, and this simple timing adjustment helps avoid unwanted interactions. Some men worry that green tea might lower testosterone. While it's true that extremely high doses of epigallocatechin gallate in supplement form might have minor, temporary effects, regular tea consumption at normal levels poses no risk. In fact, the circulatory improvements often lead to better hormonal balance and energy levels overall. Every cup of green tea you drink helps reshape your vascular health. It encourages smoother blood flow, more flexible arteries, and quieter cardiovascular function. But perhaps even more importantly, it gives men like Martin a renewed sense of control and confidence, something many thought they'd lost for good. In the next part, we'll explore one common kitchen ingredient that can be added to your morning routine to further enhance the benefits of green tea, helping to stabilize testosterone levels, maintain stamina, and sustain energy throughout the day. A small handful of blueberries, just what fits comfortably in one palm, might look simple, but it holds powerful benefits that can significantly improve your cardiovascular health, mobility, energy, and even confidence. Long before your smartwatch logs the first 500 steps of your day, these little berries are already hard at work inside your body. Within 2 hours of eating them, blueberry compounds begin to enhance the function of your blood vessels by helping arteries expand and improve blood circulation. This means oxygen-rich blood is delivered more efficiently throughout your system, especially to areas related to stamina, brain alertness, and even intimacy, issues that many older adults quietly struggle with but rarely talk about openly. Why does this matter so much for men over 60? Because as we age, our circulatory system becomes more vulnerable. Arteries lose flexibility, nitric oxide levels drop, and oxidative stress increases. These changes affect not only heart health, but also energy levels, cognitive clarity, and sexual performance. So the need for natural, non-pharmaceutical support becomes more critical than ever. Blueberries offer precisely that, without side effects or complex regimens. You might have heard people caution against fruit, claiming that it's too sugary, especially for those concerned about blood sugar or diabetes. That argument, however, doesn't hold up when you look at the actual numbers. A full cup of fresh blueberries contains around 10 grams of natural sugar, less than the sugar in a single slice of white bread. Plus, blueberries have a low glycemic index and contain anthocyanins, powerful plant compounds with antioxidant properties that actively help stabilize blood sugar levels. So rather than spiking your insulin, blueberries help improve how your body manages glucose, all while supporting healthy circulation. And timing is key. In the morning, your body is in a state of transition. Nitric oxide, the vital molecule that helps arteries expand and regulate blood flow, is at its lowest level upon waking. Meanwhile, oxidative stress is higher, which means your cardiovascular system is under more strain. By consuming blueberries in the early hours of the day, whether on their own or mixed into something like yogurt or oatmeal, you're giving your body a nutritional jumpstart. The anthocyanins in blueberries not only boost nitric oxide production, but also lower oxidative stress markers, which means your arteries become more flexible, less inflamed, and more efficient at transporting blood to where it's needed most. Multiple clinical studies have reinforced these findings. For example, research shows that consuming about 240 grams of blueberries daily, roughly equivalent to 1 heaping cup, can improve a critical measure of vascular health called flow-mediated dilation by up to 2%. Flow-mediated dilation reflects how well your blood vessels dilate in response to increased blood flow. Though a 2% change might sound small, in medical terms, it's significant. A 1.5% to 2% improvement in flow-mediated dilation can lead to meaningful enhancements in circulation, especially to body regions that are most affected by aging, like the lower extremities and pelvic area. These improvements not only support physical stamina and intimacy, but also reduce the risk of heart-related issues down the line. But the benefits aren't limited to a single serving. When blueberries become part of your weekly routine, the positive effects become more sustained. Your body breaks down blueberry compounds into useful metabolites, such as protocatechuic acid and vanillic acid. These natural byproducts influence the way your genes regulate blood vessel tone, reduce inflammation, and minimize plaque formation. This gene-level interaction leads to healthier arteries that are less prone to damage or blockage. There are also measurable improvements in blood pressure over time. Regular consumption of blueberries, especially when integrated into a healthy breakfast, has been shown to lower systolic blood pressure by 5 to 7 points. That kind of reduction is meaningful for people dealing with hypertension or prehypertension and could reduce the need for increased medication doses in the future. Additionally, with nitric oxide levels increasing as a result of regular blueberry intake, your blood vessels become more responsive, flexible, and open, making it easier for oxygen and nutrients to reach even the smallest capillaries. Let me illustrate this with a real-world case. One of my longtime patients, a 72-year-old man who was a former smoker and had been on medication for high blood pressure and mild erectile dysfunction, decided to adopt one small change. 3 times a week, he added frozen blueberries to a bowl of plain yogurt every morning. He made no other significant dietary changes, didn't join a gym, and didn't add any supplements. 6 months later, we reevaluated his brachial artery function using a flow-mediated dilation test. His score had increased from 3% to 6%, a doubling of vascular responsiveness. More importantly, he reported feeling more energized throughout the day, slept better, and noticed improved intimacy with his partner. With his doctor's guidance, he was able to reduce his ED medication dosage by half. His words? "I feel a decade younger." Of course, as with any food, blueberries aren't for absolutely everyone. They're naturally low in vitamin K, so they're unlikely to interfere with common blood thinners like warfarin. However, they do contain oxalates, which can be a concern for individuals with a history of kidney stones. If that's the case, simply reduce the portion size to about half a cup instead of a full cup and monitor your response. So what does this mean for you right now? It means that every time you eat blueberries, especially in the morning, you're giving your body a chance to improve circulation in real time. You're helping your arteries open up like traffic lanes being cleared for rush hour. Blood moves faster, oxygen gets delivered more efficiently, and the parts of your body that tend to slow down with age, your brain, your muscles, your heart, even your reproductive system, receive the boost they need. Think of blueberries as tiny tools doing big work, quietly but effectively. They're not a magic pill, but they're a natural, science-backed way to start reclaiming your vitality, one bite at a time. With consistency, you're not just preventing disease. You're actively improving how you feel every day. Stronger, more focused, and more confident. And it all starts with something as simple as adding a handful of deep blue berries to your breakfast plate. The truth is, you haven't lost it. You've simply been waiting for the right kind of support, simple, consistent, and natural. Blueberries can be the small, sustainable change that signals a bigger shift in your overall wellness. And if you've read this far, you've already taken the first step. Now let's turn our attention to something practical. Not a distant plan or a next month's resolution. I'm talking about a single step you can take today, starting this morning, that has the power to reshape your energy, your mobility, and your confidence. If you're a senior, this isn't about passively drifting through aging. This is about actively reclaiming your vitality. And right now, you already have what you need. But tools don't create change by themselves. Only when used consistently do they transform lives. So here's your next move. Make your breakfast your personal power ritual. Begin tomorrow. Don't overthink it. Don't aim for perfection, just choose one of the nutrient-rich foods we've discussed. That single act of intention, taken early in the day, can spark a chain of positive effects. Why the morning? Because the first hour after you wake is what experts call a circulatory sweet spot. Your blood vessels are more responsive. Your muscles are primed to absorb nutrients, and your metabolic engine is most ready to ignite. Skipping breakfast or delaying it too long deprives your body of this opportunity. But when you fuel it wisely, you unlock noticeable improvements. Better blood flow to your legs and pelvic region, warmer extremities, improved energy when climbing stairs, and yes, even enhanced sexual vitality for many older men. Sleep improves too, and more importantly, so does your outlook. I've worked in men's health for over 2 decades. I've seen men in their 72nd and 82nd regain what they thought age had permanently stolen. And here's the truth. Aging doesn't take your strength. It only takes what you stop defending. Far too many men give up in their minds long before their bodies truly give out. But not you, not today. Let's go over the 4 key foods once more. Foods that can kickstart better circulation, improve stamina, and sustained energy. 1. Black beans. Rich in magnesium, these help relax your blood vessels and support better flow throughout the body. 2. Oatmeal with almond flakes. Combine this with chia seeds for a bonus nitric oxide boost, which enhances vascular function. 3. Green tea. Packed with catechins, which help reduce inflammation in sensitive tissues and improve endothelial health. 4. Blueberries. Loaded with antioxidants, they specifically support the delicate blood vessels in the pelvic area. Make it your mission to eat one of these within 60 minutes of waking. This isn't just about nutrition. It's about starting your day on the offensive, activating your circulation, improving your leg strength, and setting the tone for everything that follows. Reclaim your mornings. Let your fork become your weapon of choice. You're not in the final chapter, you're in the next act. And it starts tomorrow, right at your breakfast table. If this message gives you hope or a plan you can follow, pass it forward. Click like. Share it with another man who's ready to fight for his health. And subscribe if you haven't yet. We're building a community of action takers here. Leave a comment. Drop a 1 if you're committing to trying one of these foods tomorrow, or a 0 if anything's unclear and you want help. Your voice matters. Thank you for trusting me with your health journey today. Keep showing up, keep fighting, and I'll see you in the next video.